Good morning, everybody. How you doing today? My name's Andrew.
I'm Aunt Becky.
Hi, I'm Mom.
I'm Tracy.
I'm Joel.
I'm Daniel.
I'm Gavin.
I'm Matt.
I'm hungry.
I'm Grandpa.
And we're some of the Veggie Boys.
And girls.
And we'd like to thank you for stopping by. Welcome back, everyone. It's so nice to see you. We've got all the animals taken care of, the farm market's taken care of, and I was just looking at our tomatoes really quick. As you guys know, we have tomatoes out in the field, but I was looking at our last planting. This last planting isn't anything spectacular. It's only a few tomato plants. Few, I mean few thousand, but you get it. And if you saw the last video, you know that we have tomatoes that are really nice, big and bushy out in the field. And then we have these little plugs, but these plugs are gonna be for fall. Main reason for this late planting, sometimes it doesn't frost as early as it normally does here in Pennsylvania. So if we have this late planting of tomatoes ready, we can keep picking up until we get a freeze. It's been a while since I've shown you our large greenhouse up top. As you can see, everything's growing really well. Our mums, asters, and echinacea are starting to get a lot of nice size to it. And since we've been working on so many different jobs, I wasn't able to show you some of the harvest that they got this morning. There's gonna be plenty of harvest to see, don't worry. They harvested some kohlrabi, kale, broccoli, and lettuce. So the boys have been working ground basically all day. They've been plowing and disking, trying to get everything leveled out for the mulch layer. I think one of the most important things about farming is being adaptable. Sometimes jobs will just pop up and you need to get them taken care of. And a really big job for us is spreading fertilizer. To be able to grow really nice vegetables, sometimes it requires a lot of nutritional value for the plants. Since Daniel and Joel are working up ground so that we can lay mulch, before we lay that mulch, we need to come through and spread fertilizer to give our plants the best start and the greatest opportunity to grow into nice vegetables. I just got my belt cut on the door, hold on.
This is 18-18-18 with sulfur. So it's 18 units of nitrogen, 18 units of potash, and 18 units of phosphorus. And then we have some sulfur added to it.
Now, why do you have sulfur added to it? We never used to have to add sulfur to our fertilizer.
We used to get enough from the atmosphere, sulfur that was released from cars that were burning and the engines, and also sulfur from vehicles and sulfur from the coal generation plants and people's homes and everything like that. So now that they have cleaned the atmosphere up and cleaned up all that, we don't get any sulfur from the air anymore. So now we have to add sulfur to our crops.
And that sulfur is essential because it helps to keep the plants nice and green. In one of our previous videos, we worked really hard to seed our last planting of broccoli, cabbage, and cauliflower. And the seeds are germinating really well. As we can see looking over these trays, there's not too many seeds that didn't come up. Not too bad for a machine almost as old as my dad. If you guys are interested in seeing all of this get seeded, I'll have a video at the top that you guys can click on. This field we're in right now was a cover crop left over from last year, and if you guys remember, we baled all of that cover crop, the rye that we had planted. This field is going to be planted in all of our late cabbage, broccoli, and cauliflower. When it comes to vegetable plants, roots are very important, especially when the plants are on the younger side. And this soil we have is so hard from the cover crop being planted that we needed to come through and plow. Now we're turning over the top few inches of the soil. All that organic matter we're putting on the bottom side to decay, and that will add nutrients to the ground. And we're trying to reveal that soft top layer. Because with vegetable plants, if you were trying to plant in this hard soil right here, you would not have a good time. You would have a lot of trouble when it comes to your vegetable plants. Daniel is coming through and plowing over the top layer, and then Joel is disking it smooth. So if we were to plant our broccoli and cabbage right into that rye crop without even tilling up the ground, there are a few things that could happen. Our crop would have to fight with all the other organic material for water and root space. And with vegetable plants, you can't just spray over the top to get rid of the weeds. That's why we go through and cultivate quite often to keep those weeds out. So if you have your crops constantly fighting for water, there's not enough root growth, then your vegetable plants aren't gonna get any size to them. And if your plant doesn't get any size, then your vegetable is not gonna get any size as well. Whether it's cabbage, broccoli, tomatoes, peppers. And that's why we're so particular when it comes to our vegetable crop, because this is how we make our money, this is how we make our living. So we like to make sure that we put as much effort in as possible so we're able to reap the benefits because of it. We're just about ready to start heading back to lay mulch. We had to move some things around and do some adjustments on the layer. And now all we need is some more drip tape. So I'm gonna bring drip tape back with me.
Right back, Cole.
Now us here at the Veggie Boys, we are quite familiar with comments about rocks in our field. And if I were to do a quick pan over the ground, yeah, there is a lot of rocks there. Now these rocks can cause a lot of problems when it comes to machinery, but when you look out through the field, we don't have a lot of large rocks. It's mostly smaller ones. Now one of the big things that these rocks actually do for us is they allow our fields to drain. There's some ground in this area that doesn't drain because there's so much red clay underneath the soil. And this red shale is one of the reasons why our fields actually drain well. Now this stuff right here is called drip tape that we just put on. And this is very important when it comes to laying the mulch down and planting vegetables in it. Although it's difficult to see, this tube has a lot of perforations in it that allow water to leak out. And this becomes very important in the heat of the summer because we can water directly on our vegetable plants. And we could even add fertilizer by means of that tube. And using that is much more effective than using a sprinkler because we could water the whole area with a sprinkler, but with the drip lines, we can concentrate the water right at the roots. So when it comes to the rocks, it's kind of like a love-hate relationship, more hate, but we do love the fact that our fields drain. Because although it does seem like farmers are always asking for more water, there are times where we do want it to dry out. The past couple years, there have been times where if we didn't have the type of soil that we had, we would have been in some trouble, but our fields were able to drain while others weren't. Yeah, I don't know what the problem is. Hey guys, so the battery died on the camera, and as you can see, we had a little bit of a problem. So we had to fix that problem, and the funny thing was, that was our second to last row. And I know you guys would have just loved watching me shovel all that dirt. I just know it.
Here you go, Grammy. The handle came off. I was trying to figure out how to get the door open.
I cannot believe Lefty just broke the door. Unbelievable. That door works fine all the time.
Sure does.
Oh ho ho! All right, Lauren, what's for dinner tonight?
A chicken teriyaki, sauteed zucchini, and broccoli.
Is the zucchini our zucchini?
Yes, and the broccoli's ours as well.
Oh, it's becoming the best time of the year! And as you can see, yeah, the baby bump, it's still there and growing. You won't believe what just happened. My cousin comes over, hands me his tool, and then says, hey, trim your bushes. Like, what in the world is this about?
Well, I didn't want to do it.
There we go, look at that. Woo-hoo.
I still have my dirty pants on. I didn't get my pants yet. Daniel, did you get my pants?
You didn't yell for him.
Every day I gotta yell for my pants.
All right, guys, so this is where we're gonna end the video today. We wanna thank everyone for watching, and we hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.